Many men dream of enjoying a long, healthy life after they retire. They picture themselves traveling the world, spending time with their loved ones and hobbies like fishing or playing golf. But the reality is that most guys don't get the chance. In fact, most older men cooee and live very long after reaching the age of 70. It is not uncommon for men in their early 70s to find out they only have a few months or even weeks to live. And although it sounds depressing, there are ways to protect your health and increase your lifespan. So today we're going over the real reasons why most older men cooee and live long after 70 and what you can do to protect yourself from an early grave. Reason no. 1. Heart attacks. Most men suffer a heart attack well before they reach the age of 70. However, some guys manage to live into their twilight years without having a heart attack until they are quite old. But when they do have a heart attack at an advanced age, it can be devastating. Not only is the older man typically weaker and less resilient than a younger person, but recovery from a heart attack becomes increasingly difficult with each decade that passes. This is because the body has a harder time healing itself as a person ages, and this makes it more likely that complications will arise during recovery. Additionally, older men who survive a heart attack often require extensive rehabilitation. They may need to learn how to walk again, as well as relearn basic functions, such as dressing themselves. This can be a lengthy and challenging process, especially for a senior citizen, and all of this adds up to make being a heart attack survivor significantly more difficult at an advanced age, and unfortunately, many older men never recover from a heart attack and end up passing away soon after suffering one. Reason no. 2. Strokes. Just like heart attacks, strokes become more common as a man gets older. In fact, nearly 80% of all strokes occur in people who are over the age of 65. And this risk increases with each decade that passes. A stroke occurs when blood flow to a part of the brain is interrupted, which can cause brain cells to die. This can result in a variety of physical, mental, and emotional problems, depending on the location and severity of the stroke. Some common symptoms include paralysis, difficulty speaking, memory loss, and mood swings. Unfortunately, many older men never fully recover from a stroke. The brain is a complex organ, and damage to even a small area can have serious consequences. Additionally, older men tend to have weaker immune systems, which makes them more susceptible to infections and other complications that can arise after a stroke. All of these factors contribute to the high mortality rate among older men who suffer a stroke. Within 1 year of having a stroke, 30% of men over 65 pass away. Reason no. 3. High blood pressure. High blood pressure is a major killer of older men. In fact, it's responsible for nearly 300,000 deaths each year in the United States alone. And although high blood pressure can affect people of all ages, the risk increases significantly after a man turns 65. This is because the arteries become more rigid as a person ages, which makes it harder for the heart to pump blood through them. As a result, the blood pressure starts to rise. Over time, this can damage the arteries and organs, leading to heart attack, stroke, or kidney failure. And if left untreated, high blood pressure can be deadly. Fortunately, there are effective treatments available to manage high blood pressure. However, many older men either don't know they have the condition or don't seek treatment because they don't want to take medication. Unfortunately, this often leads to serious complications down the road. Reason no. 4. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, is a group of lung diseases characterized by inflammation and constriction of the airways, leading to symptoms like dyspnea, chronic bronchitis, and emphysema. It is usually caused by smoking or exposure to toxins, and is more common in men than women. As a man gets older, the symptoms of COPD tend to worsen, which can lead to serious complications such as respiratory failure. In severe cases, this can be fatal. Unfortunately, many older men with COPD don't seek treatment until the disease is quite advanced. This is often due to a lack of awareness about the condition or the disease being misdiagnosed. By the time the older man is diagnosed with COPD, the damage to the lungs may already be significant and treatment options may be limited. Reason no. 5. Cancer. Cancer is another leading cause of death in older men. In fact, it is responsible for nearly 1 out of every 5 deaths of men over the age of 65. Unfortunately, many cancers are difficult to detect in their early stages, which allows the disease to progress and become more difficult to treat. For example, prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men, but early-stage prostate cancer usually does not cause any symptoms. This means that many older men are unaware they have the disease until it has spread and become much more difficult to treat. Another type of cancer that affects many older men is lung cancer. Even if detected early, lung cancer is notoriously difficult to treat, and most older men pass away within a few years of being diagnosed. Reason: no. Diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic condition that affects the body's ability to regulate blood sugar levels. When left untreated, diabetes can lead to a number of serious complications, including heart disease, stroke, and blindness. And although diabetes can affect people of all ages, the risk increases significantly as a man gets older. This is because the body's ability to produce insulin decreases with age, which makes it more difficult to regulate blood sugar levels. Over time, this can lead to the development of diabetes. Unfortunately, many older men with diabetes don't seek treatment until the disease is quite advanced. This is often due to a lack of awareness about the risks of diabetes or the disease being misdiagnosed. By the time the older man is diagnosed with diabetes, the damage to his body may already be significant. For example, diabetes can cause damage to the blood vessels, which can lead to heart disease or stroke. It can also cause damage to the nerves, which can lead to numbness or pain in the extremities. Reason: no. 7. Kidney disease. The kidneys are essential organs that play a vital role in removing waste and excess fluids from the body. However, as a man gets older, the kidneys can start to deteriorate, leading to a condition known as chronic kidney disease. This can be caused by a number of factors, including diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. And although many older men don't experience any symptoms in the early stages of kidney disease, the condition can cause serious complications down the road. For example, as the kidneys deteriorate, they lose their ability to remove toxins from the body, which can lead to a buildup of waste products in the bloodstream. This can cause a number of symptoms such as fatigue, nausea, and confusion. In severe cases, kidney disease can lead to dialysis, a procedure that filters the blood when the kidneys can no longer do so effectively, and many older men find it too much to handle both physically and financially. Dialysis is expensive and time-consuming, requiring several hours each day, 3 times a week, and this takes a toll on the older man's body, making him weaker and more susceptible to other illnesses and conditions. Because each video builds on the previous one, the goal of these videos is to help you avoid the mistakes that cause early death so that you can live a longer, healthier life. In part 1, I talked about the importance of family history and how it affects your health as you age. In part 2, I discussed the role of diet and nutrition and how eating the wrong foods can shorten your lifespan. In part 3, I explained the dangers of high blood pressure and high cholesterol and how they can lead to heart disease and stroke. In part 4, I delved into the issue of sleep apnea and how it affects your overall health and lifespan. And in part 5, I shared the surprising ways that mental health, stress, and happiness affect your longevity. Now in this video, I want to discuss another silent killer that can take years off your life if left unchecked. Uncontrolled diabetes. Many people don't realize that diabetes is a major cause of death and disability in the United States. In fact, according to the American Diabetes Association, more than 100 million Americans have diabetes, and many of them don't even know it. So, what is diabetes exactly? Well, it's a condition where your body has trouble regulating blood sugar or glucose. When you eat, your body breaks down the carbohydrates in your food into sugar, which enters your bloodstream. Your pancreas then releases a hormone called insulin, which helps the sugar get into your cells, where it can be used for energy. But when there's a problem with this process, whether because of your diet or your body's response to insulin, the sugar can build up in your bloodstream instead of being used by your cells. This can lead to a range of health problems from nerve damage to kidney failure. The scary thing is that many people with diabetes don't experience any symptoms at all in the early stages of the disease. That's why it's often referred to as a silent killer. As the disease progresses, however, it can cause some serious complications, especially for men over the age of 70. One of the biggest risks of uncontrolled diabetes is the damage it can do to your kidneys. Your kidneys are responsible for filtering waste products and excess fluids from your blood. But when you have diabetes, the high levels of sugar in your bloodstream can cause them to stop working properly. This can lead to a condition called diabetic nephropathy, which is a major cause of kidney failure in older adults. But that's not all. Diabetes can also cause significant damage to your nerves. In fact, diabetic neuropathy is one of the most common causes of nerve damage in people over 70. This nerve damage can cause a range of unpleasant symptoms like numbness, tingling, burning sensations, or even pain in your hands and feet. But it can also lead to more serious complications like loss of balance and increased risk of falls. Let me tell you a story about one of my patients to illustrate this point. I remember treating a gentleman in his late 70s who came to the hospital after taking a bad fall at home. He had no memory of the accident and was confused about where he was and how he got there. It turned out that he had suffered a silent stroke caused by uncontrolled diabetes. The stroke had damaged the part of his brain that controls balance and coordination, leaving him with no recollection of the event and unable to care for himself. This was a tragic situation that could have been avoided with proper management of his diabetes. Another dangerous complication of uncontrolled diabetes is damage to your eyes. Over time, high blood sugar levels can cause the blood vessels in your retina to become damaged and leaky. This can cause vision problems, ranging from blurry vision to complete blindness. In fact, diabetic retinopathy is one of the leading causes of blindness in adults over the age of 20 in the United States. But perhaps even more alarming is the fact that diabetes can increase your risk of developing cancer. Studies have shown that people with high blood sugar levels are at an increased risk of developing several types of cancer, including pancreatic cancer, breast cancer, and colorectal cancer. While the exact link between diabetes and cancer is still not fully understood, it is clear that managing your blood sugar levels is an important step in reducing your risk of developing this deadly disease. Okay, so now that you understand the risks of uncontrolled diabetes, let's talk about how you can protect yourself. First and foremost, it's important to be aware of the warning signs of diabetes. These include frequent urination, excessive thirst, unexplained weight loss, fatigue, and blurred vision. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, please see your doctor right away. Next, it's important to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Eat a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Regular exercise and weight management can also help reduce your risk of developing diabetes. But what if you've already been diagnosed with diabetes? Don't worry. There are steps you can take to manage the condition and reduce your risk of complications. The first and most important step is to monitor your blood sugar levels regularly. This will allow you to make adjustments to your diet and lifestyle as needed to keep your blood sugar in a healthy range. You should also work closely with your doctor to develop a management plan that may include medication or insulin therapy. But remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the risks of uncontrolled diabetes and taking proactive steps to manage your health, you can significantly reduce your risk of developing these potentially fatal complications. So if you're a man over 70 or have family members in that age group, please share this video with them. Help them avoid the dangers of diabetes and live a longer, healthier life. And speaking of living a longer, healthier life, there are a few other things you can do. First, make sure you're getting enough protein. Protein is essential for maintaining muscle mass and strength as you age. It can also help improve bone health and boost your immune system. Good sources of protein include lean meats, poultry, fish, beans, and lentils. Make sure you're getting at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight each day. Next, it's important to stay active. Exercise can help improve your balance and coordination, which can reduce your risk of falls and injuries. It can also help you maintain a healthy weight, keep your bones strong, and improve your mental health. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. Finally, don't forget to socialize. Social connections are an important part of maintaining both physical and mental health. We just did this video about why most guys die around 70 years old, and then there's that small percentage of guys that live well beyond that. And I got a lot of great comments on that video. I want to do a part 2 because we only covered 4 reasons. I am gonna cover 4 more reasons, and then at the end of the video I am gonna tell you how you can protect yourself and what you can do to increase your lifespan, so you're not one of those people that dies early. Alright, let's go. Alright, number 5, respiratory issues. This is a big one. Now, this is important because if you smoke, even if you quit at 70 years old, you're gonna be able to add years to your life. But you're not gone. Nah. Be able to get rid of all the damage that was done from the years of smoking. But by quitting, you're gonna slow down the progression of COPD. So the average life expectancy for someone with COPD who doesn't smoke is 64 years old. If you're smoking and you have COPD, it's less than that. If you quit smoking, it's 64 plus some more years. It might be 68, 70, maybe 72, depending on other factors. But you're gonna add some years. Also, it's been shown that people who have COPD, if they do breathing exercises and stay active, actually are gonna extend their lifespan as well. So it's always good to stay active and exercise. And if you're worried about your lungs, make sure you see an expert. See a specialist and talk about what your options are. No. 6. Cardiovascular disease. Heart disease is another major contributor to early deaths in older men. Conditions like coronary artery disease, heart failure, or stroke can significantly reduce life expectancy. You know, it's interesting when you look at heart attacks. One reason for heart attacks is stress. Stress can definitely put a tremendous toll on your cardiovascular system. The best thing you can do is learn how to manage stress. There are a lot of things you can do. Exercise is a great way to do it. Meditation is another great way to do it. So make sure you take steps to reduce stress, maintain a healthy diet, engage in regular physical activity, and avoid tobacco products. Of course. Number 7. Cancers. Cancers are gonna kill you quickly, especially if you reach over the age of 70. And the leading cancers that affect older men are prostate cancer, lung cancer, colorectal cancer, and skin cancer. Now, while there's no guaranteed way to prevent cancer, there are steps you can take to reduce your risk, and that's maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Get regular exercise, eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, limit processed foods, maintain a healthy weight, and don't smoke. Also, make sure you get regular screenings and tests. I had a colonoscopy recently, and I told my doctor, "Hey, I've never had any problems. I don't really need this." He said, "Yes, you do. Don't be stupid. Get the test." And he's right. I'm glad I did it, and it was totally fine. So make sure you listen to your doctors and get the recommended screenings and tests. And no unocho accidents and injuries. As men age, they tend to be more prone to accidents and injuries. Accidents are actually the leading cause of death for men between the ages of 20 and 34, and they continue to be a significant cause of death for men over 70. These can include falls, car accidents, and other types of trauma. While you can't prevent all accidents, you can take steps to reduce your risk. So be cautious when engaging in risky activities. Wear safety equipment when appropriate. Drive defensively and never drive under the influence of alcohol. Don't be drinking and driving. Be careful out there. You know, we've talked about this before, but if you go out into your yard and you're doing yard work and stuff like that, make sure you're wearing sunscreen. Skin cancer is a real issue, and it can be deadly. So, just wear sunscreen. So those are the top 8 reasons why most men die around 70. If you comment below, I'll try to do a part 3. I feel like we could probably do like 5 or 6 of these videos because there is a lot of stuff out there. But here's the question. How can you protect yourself? What can you do to protect yourself and extend your lifespan? Well, first of all, you want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. That's going to be the biggest thing. Eat a balanced diet. Reach in fruits, veggies, whole grains, lean proteins. And you're going to want to limit saturated and trans fats. Make sure you get regular exercise. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity per week, spread throughout the week. And you're going to want to include strength training exercises that target all major muscle groups at least 2 days a week. Also, maintain a healthy weight. Obesity or being severely underweight can both increase your risk of health problems. And then you want to avoid tobacco products and limit alcohol consumption. Now, it's very important to get regular checkups and screenings. Start with a general physical exam. Make sure your doctor does a checkup on you. Make sure everything's okay. And then get screenings and tests as recommended by your doctor. And this is very important. You know, you think you're invincible. I know I did. I still do. But you're not. And when you get older, you're going to be dealing with more and more health issues, and it's important to address them as soon as possible. And don't be afraid to ask your doctor questions. If you don't understand something, ask. It's your health. You gotta be involved. You gotta be proactive. You gotta make sure you're taking care of yourself, because you're worth it. You're worth the effort. You're worth the time. You're worth the money. You're worth it. You're worth it. I know sometimes it's hard to get motivated to take care of yourself, but trust me, it's worth it. Another important thing is to keep your mind sharp. Engage in mentally stimulating activities, and this can be puzzles, games, reading, learning new skills, and this can help maintain cognitive function and prevent cognitive decline. And then manage your stress effectively. Practice relaxation techniques. Engage in hobbies, and make sure you get enough sleep because stress can wreak havoc on your body, and lack of sleep can wreak havoc on your body as well. Now, here's another important tip. It's important to stay socially connected. Don't be a loner. Loneliness and social isolation can have negative effects on both physical and mental health, so maintain relationships with friends and family. Engage in community activities. You know, some people, they lose their spouse and they kind of shut down. They don't want to talk to anybody. They become a loner. And I know that's not intentional, but you have to realize that that's not healthy for you. You have to make an effort to go out, meet people, talk to people, stay active. The next tip is to avoid smoking and limit alcohol consumption. We already talked about that, but I'm going to say it again. Avoid tobacco products and limit alcohol consumption. And then make sure you get regular exercise. We talked about that too. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity per week. Spread throughout the week and include strength training exercises. No. 2. Another reason many older men don't live long is poor nutrition. When you reach the age of 70, your body requires fewer calories than when you were younger. This is because your metabolism slows down due to age-related changes such as loss of muscle mass, decreased physical activity, and hormonal imbalances. However, even though your calorie needs may decrease, your nutritional requirements do not. In fact, they may even increase. This is because as you age, your body becomes more susceptible to diseases and illnesses that require proper nutrition to fight off. Additionally, certain nutrients play a role in maintaining bone health, preventing osteoporosis and cognitive decline, which are common issues among older adults. Despite this, many seniors either eat too many processed foods or simply don't eat enough. The problem with eating processed foods is that they often lack essential nutrients and are high in sodium, unhealthy fats, and added sugars. These types of foods can lead to weight gain, high blood pressure, heart disease, and other chronic conditions that can shorten lifespan. Skipping meals, on the other hand, means that you may not be getting enough of the vitamins and minerals your body needs to stay healthy. This can lead to malnutrition, muscle loss, and a weakened immune system. To protect your health and lifespan, it's crucial to follow a balanced diet that meets your nutritional needs as you age. Here are some tips for doing so. Eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. They are low in calories but packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Choose whole grains over refined carbohydrates like white rice and bread, and opt for lean protein sources such as fish, chicken, beans, and tofu. Stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day and avoid sugary drinks and excessive amounts of caffeine. You should also consider taking a daily multivitamin to ensure that you're re-getting all the nutrients you need. However, it's important to note that vitamins should not be used as a substitute for a healthy diet. If you have any underlying health conditions or dietary restrictions, it is best to consult with a doctor or a registered dietitian who can help you develop a personalized meal plan that meets your individual needs. Remember that what you eat can have a profound impact on your health and lifespan, so make sure to prioritize nutrition as you age. Many men over the age of 70 suffer from chronic conditions that can shorten their lifespan. Heart disease, stroke, cancer, and diabetes are some of the most common ailments that affect seniors, and they are often preventable or manageable through lifestyle changes and medical treatment. Heart disease is a leading cause of death in older men, and it can be caused by a variety of factors, including high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, and diabetes. To reduce your risk of heart disease, You should eat a healthy diet, exercise regularly, and manage any other chronic conditions you may have. Stroke is another serious condition that can occur in older men, and it happens when the blood flow to the brain is interrupted, causing brain damage. Risk factors for stroke include high blood pressure, diabetes, and atrial fibrillation. To lower your risk of stroke, you should control your blood pressure, manage your blood sugar levels, and consult with your doctor about your risk of atrial. Cancer is a disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells, and it can affect people of all ages, including older men. While there is no surefire way to prevent cancer, making healthy lifestyle choices, such as eating a balanced diet and exercising regularly, can help reduce your risk. Additionally, staying away from tobacco products and limiting alcohol consumption can also help lower your chances of developing cancer. Another common ailment among older men is diabetes, which occurs when the body has trouble regulating blood sugar levels. People over the age of 70 are at an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and this can lead to a number of complications, including heart disease, stroke, and cognitive decline. To prevent and manage diabetes, you should maintain a healthy weight, exercise regularly, and eat a balanced diet that is high in fiber and low in processed foods and added sugars. Fortunately, there are steps that you can take to protect yourself against these ailments and improve your overall health and well-being as you age. One of the most effective things you can do is to adopt a healthy lifestyle. This includes eating a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein sources, as well as engaging in regular physical activity. Exercise can help maintain muscle mass, improve balance and coordination, and reduce the risk of falls and fractures, which are common concerns for older adults. It can also boost your immune system and improve your mood and mental health. Another important aspect of healthy aging is staying socially active and connected. Maintaining a strong social network can help reduce feelings of loneliness and isolation, which can be common among seniors. It can also provide emotional support and a sense of belonging, which can contribute to overall well-being. Staying mentally active through activities like puzzles, games, and reading can help keep your mind sharp and may reduce the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. It's also essential to prioritize preventive health care as you age. This includes regular checkups with your doctor, screenings and tests recommended for your age group, and following your doctor's advice for managing any chronic conditions you may have. By staying on top of your health and working closely with your healthcare provider, you can catch any potential problems early and get the treatment you need to stay healthy. Remember, while aging is a natural process that cannot be avoided, there are steps you can take to protect your health and well-being as you grow older. By adopting a healthy lifestyle, staying socially active, prioritizing preventive health care, and adapting to changes in your body and mind, you can enjoy a fulfilling and active life as you enter your golden years. As men age, they often face a decline in testosterone levels, which can lead to a number of physical and emotional changes. This condition, known as latent hypogonadism, can cause symptoms such as decreased muscle mass, fatigue, mood changes, and reduced libido. While testosterone replacement therapy has been an option in the past, it is now less commonly used due to concerns about potential side effects. However, there are natural ways to boost testosterone levels and mitigate the effects of age-related decline. One approach is to engage in regular physical activity. Exercise can help increase testosterone levels by stimulating the body's natural testosterone production. Aim for a combination of strength training and cardio, and be sure to allow for adequate rest and recovery time. Another strategy is to consume a balanced diet that includes foods rich in zinc, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids. Zinc is an essential mineral that plays a role in testosterone production, while vitamin D and omega-3 south have been shown to have positive effects on testosterone levels. Incorporating foods like oysters, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish into your diet can help boost your intake of these nutrients. Getting enough sleep is also crucial for maintaining healthy testosterone levels. Most adults need around 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. During sleep, the body releases important hormones that promote muscle growth and repair, which can indirectly help boost testosterone levels. Managing stress through techniques like yoga, meditation, or spending time in nature can also be beneficial. High levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, can interfere with testosterone production. Finally, consider taking supplements under the guidance of a healthcare professional. Supplements like ashwagandha and fenugreek have shown promise in helping boost testosterone levels.